Hello, thanks for joining me again. Today we're going to start our drywall and spackling series tutorial for homeowners. This is a 101 kind of a video, and also a playlist of videos for people that want to do some light drywall and spackling at home. This is not for someone who wants to do this for a business. Okay, this is just for basic repairs and drywall installation on a small scale at home. I want to take you through in this first video the basic tools you'll need to be able to get any of these jobs done. Okay, and then we're gonna break this up. We'll talk about spackling and taping and actually doing some of the repairs during the entire series. This video today is going to talk about the basic tools you will need to get started. The first one is a 4-inch taping or joint knife for applying the tape to the seams that you might experience if you are not only installing new drywall in a room, but maybe having to replace or repair a crack and you want to put some new tape, whichever type of tape you want to use, which we'll get into again in another video. A 4-inch tape knife is a critical tool that you're going to want to use to get that first layer, and also to be able to scrape the mud out from behind the tape as you apply it, which we'll get into later. The second tool would be a 6-inch tape or joint knife. Now, you'd follow up with the 6-inch after you use the 4-inch. If you were on a budget constraint and you can only use one, then you can choose whichever one feels more comfortable to you. They should both be a little flexible. They should not be too stiff. You want to have a little bit of a flex in them, so that way you're going to be able to squeeze out the mud or spackle from behind the tape without digging in to the drywall on either end. The next one I have is a 10-inch tape knife. So after you've gotten your tape done and you got your first layer of mud up to 6 inches, like you've seen on the prior knife, you're going to then want to fan this out even more, and you'll go with a 10-inch knife to apply a thicker, wider layer of your drywall mud to make it more even and spread out, so you're not going to see any kind of a depression in the wall, especially when you're using tapered drywall edges. You're going to want to now spread this out farther, so you've got a 10-inch knife to go next. And then finally you have a 12-inch, and as you start to get wider on these, obviously you're gonna smooth out the imperfections, but it also gets a little bit more difficult to handle. And if you haven't used these things before and handled mud or spackle, and you get too much on here in the beginning, you're gonna be dropping a lot of it on the floor. And if you're not too comfortable with this, you don't have to go to the 12. They make even larger sizes for skim coating. Let's say you need to do the entire wall. You were trying to skim coat because you had popcorn ceiling or something like that. You want to go larger, because the larger you go, the more even it will be, and you won't see as many of the lines on the ends as much. You won't see as much of them on the ends. But again, when you're just starting out, the 12 is a little bit more difficult to handle. So you can still get everything you need to get done with just a 10. You don't need to go up to the 12. The next important tool you're going to need, which maybe I should have talked about in the beginning, is a good knife or blade. Now, you're going to use this in so many instances when you're doing drywall repairs, or even installing new drywall where you're trying to score the sheetrock or drywall to snap it, to have it fit to wherever it is you're putting it. Also, you may be trimming some edges. You might be trying to cut out for an electrical box. It's very important that you keep a sharp blade. Not only does it make your work easier, but it's also safer. A lot of the accidents happen when it's not sharp enough and you're pressing too hard to make the cut, and then that's where the accidents occur. So this is one example of a very basic and simple blade. There is another one I like, which I could not locate before making this video, which is one where it has all of the little sections of blades that you could snap off really quick and easy, so that way you can just keep rolling without having to unscrew this and swap a blade out. I'm going to link to one of those in the description below, as well as some of these other tools. Now, another great tool to have, and it's not just for drywall, it's for everything. This is a multi-purpose tool. What you're going to really use this for, this end here is for, when you're, again, we're going to talk about this later in another video, but when you're trying to repair some cracks in a wall or a ceiling that have happened over time, you're going to want to use this end. This is perfect to dig out that crack, to clean out some of the loose material before going in to make the repair. This is a great tool for that. And also, if you have any other imperfections in the wall, this is stiff and you can knock the pieces off. So that way you can come back over it and to make it look smooth again afterwards. Now, these two things here are not commonly used, and if they are used, they're typically used by beginners that are not as comfortable doing inside and outside corners with a joint or tape knife. But this would be an inside corner tool and an outside corner tool where you could lay in the mud needed and also press it out once you've put your paper tape inside the corner. Use this tool to evenly push out the mud that's behind the tape. And then you've got this on the corners. Maybe you've got the corner bead you're trying to layer the mud or spackle on either side of it. You can go down with this tool there too. But like I said, I personally prefer to use the knives instead of these things, but these are available for you in the event that you really want to use these and you're going to be doing enough of it. And lastly, we have what's called a hock, where you could be using your knives on here to take off the mud to apply it to the wall. I like to use this. It's easy for me to use. And then the other option is you have this pan, where you could actually use it to mix the dry mud or drywall compound in here, and then dispense it right from here. A lot of people do like to use this too. I do use this at times. I used it on another video that you'll see where we did a repair on a garage ceiling. So it really comes down to what you prefer. But one of these is something you're going to definitely need, because you're going to need to be able to take it from either here or here to apply to the wall. So these are the basic tools that you're going to need if you want to do some basic home repairs with drywall and spackling. Again, follow the series. I'm going to be linking to it at the end here. And also in the description, I'm going to link to some of these tools that you saw that you could possibly use. You can find them all at your local home improvement store, but if you don't feel like running out to the store, you want to have it shipped to your house, you can find the links down below. Thanks for watching, and watch the next video in the series. Thank you.